Welcome to this month in Lince 2026 March version. For growth, we broke the this month in Lince alignment. Now everything is a little more to the top, and that is for a reason, because we changed a lot of stuff to have a blog post with text form, and I didn't have time to fix it, and I didn't want to, because we are moving it to be inside Lince next month. So these cards are the things that we present are contributions that we make, and they could be organized inside Lince itself. So that's the goal, and why we are not maintaining this month in Lince version. So the blog post we did was mainly for a text description of the things we present in this month in Lince, and we might do more subjects on further months, like showing cool things we can do and explaining things, not just the Tamil this month in Lince in the blog. We also have now a visual identity, which is amazing and very beautiful. Here is the presentation. We have a logo only, and with the text too. Here it is horizontally. I am bad at explaining this. And here it is with the institute text, which is the parent organization we might have to create later if we need to, for organizing the resources of Lince and the development. And here it is in another viewing, and we have colors too, a color palette. It was the idea of our designer to go with purple, which is very beautiful, and yeah, those are the colors. We also have the same colors with a different shade to have more to work with, and here is with text for the body of stuff. So more examples of how it would look like with other types of text. And we are thinking about t-shirts. I think the current plan is to do a plain t-shirt with the logo on the heart of people, and I think that for the visual identity, that's pretty much it. For programming, we decided to commit on a certain structure of our ecosystem, where we will have everything together, and we will have a Lince backend mostly. In the future, it would be cool to have our own database, everything connected and integrated into the backend, like some projects do. And now we are going to focus mainly on the web version, which uses it to start, but may use JavaScript only or anything you want to bring. And the GPY version that we were developing before is going to be a later focus, and the TUI version is going to be built in parallel if we need to. And we're going to maintain them in the future because they serve different purposes. The web version is used for making sure everybody can use it and create easy components for their workflows. The TUI version is mainly a small wrap around the database, because it's a TUI and it's built for efficiency and speed and minimalism. The GPY version is going to be the focus of heavy rendering and cool stuff, so it's like a long term commitment. It might be another tool that we use to make good usage of the GPU and desktop apps that we can build, so we don't rely on the browser. We can have a standalone binary. So the TUI version, we started vibe coding a little bit just to test how it would look like, and you can change records, you can create stuff, you have shortcuts, and you have command that you can see all commands. So it's a terminal workflow that you can see in other terminal editors, and it's very cool. The HTML version is the main thing we did this month, because one of our developers had an idea of making it from scratch, and this was a good demonstration of how we can create different workflows that are very personalized to each person and still interact with the same data. So if we have an organ which is a collection of Lince nodes that can work together, we can have a component of a certain organ on one side of the screen and a totally different environment and server and data on the other that may not connect, but if you want to, may exchange quantities and trade information. So it will be clearer on next versions where we will show interactions happening. For now, it is mainly for proof of concept. So when we have further down the line design for it, it's going to be a little easier to understand what we mean and the workflows we want to create. So let's make a demo. This is the view we were seeing before. It is very interactable. We can move cards from one place to the other, but it is very janky and was mainly done to test if we could do it. It's running on a server that has a lot of lag, so it's very slow. And we have access to terminal. We can interact in really cool ways and have really fun widgets for now. But we will be focusing on the Kanban, which was part of the roadmap we were building all the past versions of Lince. We did a demo that is very broken, but the main idea is that we will create a game of chess that has a record it points to, and it changes data about the record with a certain extension of random JSON we want to create. So we have a view that is subscribed to that record plus its extension, and we can just make the user connect to that view here. So it's very broken, but it sometimes works with just for proof of concept. So this is changing data here, but this is not. So you get the idea. I could do probably this and it would work, but still the same is not happening for here. But it's the same concept. So it's running in a VPS, and I am subscribed to the same view in the two components, and I make updates on each, and I get the updates from the other interaction on every component that is subscribed to this view. So yeah, let me show you another screen full of components we did for testing of what it would look like, and we have several different things we can build here, and yeah, pretty cool. They are the components from different servers, which we call them organs, are gated with a login process. So you could leave open your links, and people would have to know your password, username, and in the future probably two-factor authentication to access your data. And so you can have multiple servers with components that you are connected to in the same screen, which is very, very cool. And that was the web version. So for roadmap, we stopped working on table, and we are focusing now on Kanbans for group collaboration and projects, which we will be using at Lince and maybe some other places. We're also planning on doing the connection part a bit later, but since we are using the VPS now, we did it a bit earlier. So we have group of cells, of organs actually. You can register what organs you would like to point to, and then you will put a component and say that you want to connect to the data there, and it will ask for a authentication. You will log in, and you will have you receive server sent data from those records. So the next thing we will work on is the transaction proposals to say that you want to change quantities between the organs to make from economic interactions to brainstorming. And that's the roadmap so far. And that's a wrap for this month in Lince. Thank you, and I'll see you next month. Bye.